Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we're going to do some more writing feedback. Again, surprise, surprise, we have an IELTS writing essay, task 2. Again, to remind you, candidates can send task 1 or task 2, but in general they tend to send task 2. Okay. We start as always by reading the question, making sure that we understand the question 100%, because we know the majority, I don't know about majority, too many candidates, for me, lose marks from not understanding the question and not answering the question. They do very badly in this task response, which is, the easiest place to score marks, in my opinion. But let's have a look at it. We'll think about the structure. So it is important for everyone, including young people. So we have kind of a couple of focus points here. Everyone, including young people. So the question makes a special reference to young people, so we should deal with that. To do what? To save money for their future. So everyone should save money for their future, even young people should save money for their future. To what extent? So to what extent do you agree or disagree? And again, you can take the middle position here. You can partly agree or partly disagree. I think it is easier for you as a candidate, for the examiner, just to pick a side, agree or disagree. Choose to agree that everyone, including young people, should save money for their future, or choose to disagree that everyone, including young people, should save money for their future. So if you agree with this position, in the introduction, I want to see a little bit of background information about the subject. The subject here is saving money, managing money. Then some reference to the question, is it important, or how important is it for all people, including young people, to save money? And also in the introduction, I want to see the candidate's position. I need to see the candidate's position. I need to know if they agree, if they disagree, if they partially agree. You should spell this out here. Part of tasks like this, to what extent do you agree or disagree, require you to maintain a clear position throughout. And so if you don't state that position in the introduction, you're going to get into trouble. Sorry. And then if you agree with this position, I want body paragraph 1. Now, this is how I would structure it. Body paragraph 1, I would talk about why it's important for all people, perhaps, to save money. And then body paragraph 2, I would perhaps focus in on this young people. I think that would answer the question logically, right? It's important for everyone, including young people. Great, so why don't we have a paragraph on everyone? It's important for everyone to save money because Then body paragraph 2, it is especially important for young people to save money. I mean, we might paraphrase, because Then in the conclusion, we want a brief summary of your main arguments, and then maybe some comment, this is why it's important for schools to educate young people on how to manage money, or this is why everyone should have open access to, financial instruments, blah, 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 whatever. Some type of reflective comment, I think, would be a nice touch for the conclusion. I notice most candidates don't do this reflective comment stuff. But that's okay. That's up to them. You can write your essays how you want to write your essays. If any, there are certain things that you have to do, but there's definitely not one absolute right way to write an essay. There's not absolutely one 100% correct number of paragraphs, for example. I tend to prefer 4 with almost all essays, apart from advantages outweigh disadvantages. But for most essays, I feel you can write 4. Some people feel they might want to write 5 for some essays. Absolutely fine. No problem with that. I'm all for simplicity. I always want to make things as easy as possible. And so I choose to go with 4. But let's see what our candidate has for us. So first I want to check the paragraphs. This candidate, by the way, wrote 329 words. I have a new policy now. I will not accept writing more than 320 words. I inform all candidates of this before they send me the writing, but still, candidates send more than 320 words. So I told this candidate to kind of go back and edit the work and get it down. So let's see how many words the candidate has this time. I have checked, so I do know, but just to show you, it is 288. So for me, that's right in that golden zone. I think 280 is the perfect number of words for an IELTS essay question. 300, okay. 320, and I'm thinking, will you be punished at IELTS for writing 320 words? Not really. But there are all kinds of reasons why I don't recommend writing 320 words in your IELTS essays. But that's not what we're focusing on today. Let's have a look what the candidate gives us in their introduction. Over the last few years, called Broadening the Scope, there have been a lot of efforts to create or use the roundabout ways to earn financial resource. I don't know what that means. Just don't know what that means. You have to simplify your writing. You're trying too hard. The sentence is too complex. I don't know what it means to create or use the roundabout ways to earn financial resource. So, earn financial resource. Saving money isn't the same as earning financial resources. Anyway, among them, saving money has also achieved increasing prevalence in wide world. I don't know what that means. Saving money has achieved increasing prevalence in wide world. I don't know what that means. And is determined to be, so saving money is determined to be. I don't know how saving money can have an emotion. Sometimes we use this literary device called the pathetic fallacy, where we pretend that abstract or inanimate, not alive objects have the ability to act, feel, and things like this, right? So we might say like, oh, Bitcoin is trying to break $100,000. Bitcoin's not really trying to break. This is something called the pathetic fallacy. So sometimes we can attribute human emotions to abstract nouns, but here I just can't see how it works. Saving money is determined to be an only way without risking a profit. I just don't know what that means. Again, no idea. And guarantee, so again, I guess this is a complex sentence, but I guess the subject is still saving money. So saving money, guarantee, should be guarantees, a constant income to our balance. I don't know what it means for something to be a constant income to a balance. So again, I don't know what that means. You might have an idea in your mind about what it means, but that's not crossing over. And so if your language level isn't good enough to express these super complicated ideas, don't choose super complicated ideas. Make your ideas simple. If you feel like your idea is simple, use simpler language. Use, very basic clause and clause, clause but clause. Because you just don't have that ability to, put together a complex sentence like this, because no meaning is crossing over, unfortunately. Okay, I would fully support this point of view for two main reasons, which I will explore. Okay, we don't need this for two main reasons. Just say if you agree or disagree. But the point of view hasn't been mentioned here. Not one point of view has been mentioned, right? A lot of efforts to create financial resource. That's not a point of view. Saving money has achieved increasing prevalence, whatever that means. That isn't a point of view, is it? It seems like you're just describing a state of affairs, and is determined to be an only way. I don't know what this means, but it doesn't look like a point of view. So when you say that you support this point of view, I don't know what point of view you are talking about. And so while I do see that I can infer here, I can guess that, okay, the candidate probably agrees with the idea that it's important for everyone, including young people, to save money for their future. But I have to work that out for myself. You don't do that in your writing, unfortunately. So introduction, we have enormous problems here. Okay. Let's see if we get a good topic sentence then. So the question I have now is, okay, the candidate agrees with the idea that it's important for everyone, including young people, to save money for their future. What I want to see in the first sentence of the next paragraph is a clear reason why it is important for everyone, or a clear reason why it is important for young people to save money for their future. From one sentence in the first in this first body paragraph. Will we get that? The main reason why saving money can have a very profound role, okay, play a very profound role, and very profound, sounds a little bit odd, in the future life is related to depletion of financial means. Again, I don't know what that means. The reason why saving money can play an important role in the future life is related to depletion of financial means. No idea what that means. Now you might think, oh, come on, examiner, you're a smart guy, you're an examiner, you're a native English speaker. What do you mean you don't understand? I'm playing the role here not of the detective. I'm playing the role of the target reader, which should be, you know, a reasonably educated person, a person who understands English. And while I could, you know, I could try to work out, I could try to, you know, really reread 100 times and go, probably it's something connected to this. Not my job here. It's your job as the writer to put that message across as clearly as possible. In other words, okay, we get an attempt at a paraphrase. Money supply, okay, the money supply these days is mainly derived from salary. Is that, in other words, are you paraphrasing here? Saving money is important, and this is connected to the depletion of financial means. In other words, so to say the same thing again, the money supply is derived from salary, additional work, lottery, gambling. So we have a problem with the way the candidate lists things. We should really have an and here. And also, I don't think this is really a paraphrase of this, is it? I don't know. These underneath financial resources, I guess, I don't know. Underlying doesn't really work. These underneath financial resources have been using up at unprecedented rate. Is there an attempt at passive here? Have been rising up, have been using up, have been used up, maybe? I don't know. Which means, comma, which, I like comma, which, always like comma, which means they, who is they? Financial resources, perhaps? Okay. They may not be inadequate amounts for the future of humanity's life. Humanities or humans? It's odd to think that a person's earnings should be adequate for the future of humanity. That's odd. Considering this, I think saving money can be a perfect alternative to increase greatly. An alternative? Alternative to what? I think saving money can be a perfect alternative to increase greatly our finance in the future. Yeah, so there's an attempted like tie back or link, an attempted tie back, but again, I'm really sorry to repeat myself, but I don't know what you mean here. It can be a perfect alternative to increase greatly our finance, to increase our finance, to increase how much money we have, maybe? Yes. Secondly, okay, more importantly, accumulating money gives a chance for growing cash without supervision. Okay. Let's see what candidate means. Banks provide, so banks plural provides, we get third person singular. Banks provide holdings, comma, with expanding percentages. In short, comma, our money could raise by themselves. Raise what? Could rise by itself. Our money could rise, not raise, by itself, not themselves. We should have full stop, moreover, comma, so a bit of bad punctuation there. Moreover, we can add extra deposit for our capital in holding, comma, that could increase percentage of profit. I don't know what it means. I could reread. Probably I could find meaning there, but I won't. Eventually, comma, not essential, but better to have it. Eventually, humanity could rely upon banks and be confident about their financial resources. Are we talking about relying on banks here? I also don't see any real mention of young people. The question mentions everyone, including young people, and I feel like you should mention young people somewhere. And you just don't do that in the body paragraphs. Okay. In conclusion, I approve of the idea that saving money plays a pivotal role in the future. Okay, not bad. Not only will, an attempt at inversion here, not only will relieve, not only, maybe would it relieve or will it relieve people from holding money in pockets. No, saving money could be holding your money in your pockets, right? Metaphorically, like saving it at home. And spending them. Money is it, by the way. In English, money is not they, but it is it. It is singular, uncountable. Spending it. But it may also can. So we get this double modal verb. We never ever do this in English, like may can, will can, should, could. We never do that in English. Should have to is fine, but have to is not a real modal verb. But it may also can. It may also be a way of generating money without supervision. By this method, everyone could create reliance upon their savings perhaps, these savings, and remain in a state of calm. I don't know for academic writing if you need to mention the internal emotional world of a saver here. Maybe, I don't know. Without the anxiety about the future from the young to the old generation. So, there is an attempt, kind of an attempt at some extra comment at the end in the conclusion, but okay. Let's get into marking. Task response, I have to give 4. In most cases, I just can't follow. I can't follow your ideas. I'm not very informed. What I could say, just looking back at this question, if, again, the hypothetical friend, because I don't have real ones, if a hypothetical friend asked you, okay, does this person believe that it's important for everyone, including young people, to save money for the future? I can say, yes, he does. Or yes, she does. Well, yes, they do. Why do they believe this? I don't know. I don't know. Something about if you save money in a bank, you can get extra money because of the interest rates. That's it. That's all I can really. That's all I can really say. So on the whole, I really can't say I'm informed at all. Yeah. Okay. Next, we will go to coherence and cohesion. So I will say for coherence and cohesion, there's a bit of a problem with coherence that I don't feel you don't really answer the question. I mean, that's kind of part to do with task response too. There are some points that are a bit off topic, but okay. 4 paragraphs, good. An attempt at an introduction, an attempt at 2 body paragraphs, an attempt at a conclusion, good. We get some signposting language, such as in conclusion, that's good. We get some other signposting language, such as in short, that's good signposting language. We get other things like in other words. Okay, it's not used accurately here because what follows isn't a paraphrase of your previous point. We get some reference words like these. There are a few dodgy reference words like themselves for money instead of itself, which is a little bit confusing. So yeah, the flow of the writing is decent. There is a decent flow. There are 4 paragraphs, and there is, clear attempts at using some signposting language to guide the reader through. I think the grammar is really weak, and that's where we kind of lose an understanding. But I think in terms of the layout and the setup, I think it is okay. Now, we never want to have something we call a jagged profile in IELTS, right? So if you get task response like 4, you never want to see like an 8 for coherence and cohesion. examiners really, really don't like doing that. So for me, I'm going to award the 6 for coherence and cohesion. For grammatical range and accuracy, I'm going to award the 5. Now, there aren't so many grammar mistakes here, but there are some, basic sentences controlled reasonably well. Candidate regularly forgets, third person s, like banks provides instead of banks provide. And we get things like accumulating money, giving. So there's a lot of breakdown, a lot of misunderstanding. But, there are some complex sentences and some complex structures attempted with, not always disastrous consequences. So for me, there is enough evidence there to say the candidate has, intermediate grammar probably. And for lexical resource, I'm going to give absolutely the same 5. Again, probably the lexical resource should be slightly higher than grammar. There is a lot of stuff here to like. Depletion, that's cool. Financial means, that's good stuff. Point of view is good stuff. So the range is really good. It's just the accuracy is not there. It's like the candidate uses all of these words or these vocabulary items, but because they're not used appropriately, I just can't understand when you put all of those words together. I just can't understand what they mean. And so for me, I'll cap that at a 5. Despite the fact that the range of vocab is good, the accuracy, I just can't understand most of what you say. So that means overall, you get a score of 5.0. I think that's fair, and I think maybe that's even generous. I could imagine, some examiners might give a lower mark for grammatical range and accuracy, like a 4, perhaps. So, some examiners might give this a 4.5. Looking at it as a piece of writing, I would say, it is middle of intermediate, 4.5. But the way that I've marked it, it's come out as 5.0, the highest end of intermediate. B1, high end of intermediate. Any points for the candidate here? It's clear that you're really, really trying hard to use a lot of like difficult vocab or difficult grammar. It just doesn't work for you. I think if you are a B1 student, you might be able to squeeze a B2 result by simplifying your grammar. If you simplify your grammar will be more accurate. Sure, it won't be as rangy. You won't get points for like high range, but you can get a 6. You can get a 6 with mostly simple grammar and, 1 or 2 decent attempts at complex grammar. And the same thing with vocab. I think you can get a 6 with, mostly fairly basic vocab with some topic specific language. I think you can get a 6 for that. And I think if you simplify your ideas, or if you have training about what it means to answer a question in an academic way, you can certainly boost that up to a 6. So I think the candidate's ceiling with their language is a 6. I really don't think they can get higher than a 6 with the current language level they have. But you really have to fix this task response. Again, understanding what it means to present a clear idea and to support a clear idea, how to stay on topic, how to inform a target reader, and give up on the ideas of these like grand, complicated grammar constructions and vocab, because your language level, unfortunately, at the moment, it just isn't there, and you're misusing. Maybe you've picked up a lot of language, but you're not quite sure how it is used, and so you're taking a lot of risks with your language. And for me, overall 5.0, intermediate, B1, nice attempt, nice, 4 paragraphs, cool. There's a natural flow, coherence and cohesion is strong. Good job on that. But have to fix this, have to fix this, have to fix this. Cool. I guess I'll leave it there. So I hope that wasn't too harsh. Whenever I'm checking writing that's of a 5.0, 5.5, sometimes the feedback can sound, like harsh criticism. Everyone who learns a language is in a different part of their journey, right? I've learned a few languages in my life, and I know that when I'm elementary, people, I feel a little bit embarrassed about my language a little bit when I'm elementary, and when I'm advanced, I feel quite confident about my language. But none of it should be a judgment on me as a person. It doesn't mean I'm stupid because I only speak like A2 level Chinese, and it doesn't mean that I'm super smart because I can speak C1 level Russian, right? That or C2 level Welsh. It doesn't mean that I'm a smart or a stupid person. And if somebody was criticizing or evaluating my writing in Chinese, I would hopefully I would not feel like that person is telling me that I'm dumb because I have those mistakes. I would just try to learn from it. So please do keep that in mind. There's nothing personal against any candidate here. I'm only trying to help you, candidate, and help you, people, to understand what scores an examiner might give and the reasons why. And of course, if the scores are a little bit lower, we want more reasons why we would give that score. And also, sometimes, it can sound a little bit rude to say that the candidate cannot control basic sentences. That's just based on the evidence that we get from the writing, nothing about the candidate as a person. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you'd like your own free IELTS writing essay or part one check, or if you'd like a free practice speaking test with lots of feedback, lots of honest feedback, fair, honest feedback. If you'd like this, you can request it on my Telegram channel, Expert Examiner. A link to that Telegram channel is given in the description below. I'll leave it there. If you are watching the Super Bowl, I don't like either team that's playing tonight. That's all. Bye-bye.